Hello!
Hey. God damn it. So, sorry, we were watching something else and lost track of time. That's just the truth. I could have made up something to make us look better, but
But that would have been a lie.
it would have been a lie, yeah. So hi, Lone Wanderer! Yay! And the boo is a boo, not a boo. Like, just to be clear, they typed that, and I was like, wait, how do you mean boo?
I did not think of that in my typing moment.
That's all right.
We were drinking and watching Secular Sexuality, and we got caught up in the holiday movie conversation.
We did.
And
hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. My goodness, we've got everybody. We've got Mr. Shadow Kitty. We've got B. We've got Fran Wilson. We've got Critical Cripple. We've got, my goodness, everybody's here.
Hey, guys. Thank you.
Hey, y'all.
Thank you for coming. I know we're cutting into like some other good shows.
This has been a busy little day from a streaming perspective.
Right?
Everyone's been live at the same time since like 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah. We've all, well,
a lot of people pointed out to me, and I was like, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's Thursday.
It's Thursday. It is.
Everyone apparently streams on Thursday.
At least we do every other Thursday for this one, but still,
this Thursday, apparently, yeah.
This Thursday is, yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, so so I wanted to touch on the reason the title of this is Surviving COVID-19 Together is not because we've tested it positive or anything like that. Do not. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't worry about that. That's not it.
The season of COVID.
The season of it. Yes. It's what all of us are undergoing, and it's, you know, there have been a lot of kind of jokes which are fair, kind of thrown around about how we're going to see two things once all of this is over. We're going to see a small baby boom and a boom in divorces.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we're not having any babies.
We're not
here.
And we're not getting divorced.
And we're not getting divorced. No, that is not happening.
Just for the sake of clarification.
Yeah, but it's an interesting notion because it's like, yeah, we're together all day, every day, and have been since March, and it's gone really well.
We're very lucky.
We're very lucky
because it's gone okay for us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite sure how that's the case, but we've done okay.
We have. I will say we do see a counselor. We see a couples counselor, telecommuting. And I'm not going to tell you anything personal about that or what we say in sessions and stuff, but that has helped a lot. Like, because we did hit kind of we hit a bumpy thing there for a minute. We were like, okay, we need to talk to someone about this, you know, and we did, and it's been really good. I think the other thing that, and by the way, guys.
Hey, for no reason.
Hey, hello. For no reason. This isn't a like, let me brag about my relationship and tell you how to do it because I'm the relationship guru. No, I'm divorced. I've been divorced. This is my second marriage. Don't, you know. But one thing that you and I do well, and I think it's worth noting, is we communicate well.
We do.
Yeah.
And we do at that.
Yeah. And we're really good about being like, hey, I need some alone time, and going into another space and having some alone time. And neither of us is offended by that. Like, we're not, you know, like, oh, but why can't you be with me all the time? Oh my God. Like, yeah. No, that's ridiculous. And it might just be age too. It's like, you know, we're not.
Well, there is
we're
that.
Not in our 20s.
That's what I was about to say is, you know, as I so often say with regard to essentially everything, honey, we're not 19 anymore.
Exactly.
You know, and that plays into the, if you can. Yeah, Fran was over. Fran was over there with us just a second ago.
Yeah, Fran was with us.
If you communicate well, you cannot make a rom-com. Yeah, nobody wants to watch a rom-com based on our relationship. Trust me.
Oh,
it's like, oh my God, why are they talking to each other all the time? We'll never have a miscommunication.
There's never any conflict. What is happening? And that's not true. There's conflict on occasion
because we're human.
We're human. We have gotten frustrated, and the nice thing about it is, at this point, we've both been through enough therapy and enough mental health stuff.
And enough bad relationships.
Yeah, fair enough. That we can go, we have a self-awareness kind of established where it's like, thank you, B, yes it is. Where I can go, hey, I'm in a really fucking bad mood today, and everything you do is going to annoy me, and it's not your fault. So I'm just going to take myself elsewhere, like into another part of the apartment. And when I feel more human and like myself, I'll come find you if that works for you. You know, just things like that. We do, like I have said,
and vice versa.
Yeah, almost exactly that. You know, or we'll snap once and be like, I did not mean to do that. I'm taking something else out on you.
Yeah.
You know,
that moment where the bell dings and the light dawns and you go, that wasn't about you, was it?
No, that was your stuff.
That was my stuff.
Yeah, or my stuff. Yeah, exactly.
I shall go elsewhere and sort this out.
Yep. And Fran does bring up a good point. Conflict is normal. Absolutely, it's normal. And the thing that I always heard growing up that I actually still agree with, and my first marriage is kind of a testament to how if you don't do this, it can fuck shit up, is that couples who don't argue or fight. Now, I'm not talking about screaming at each other and going for each other's throats and throwing shit. Personally, I don't think all of that stuff is healthy, but couples who don't fight, what that means is that one person is always giving in, at least one, or there's giving in on both sides that's going to be too much, and resentment is going to build, and it's just not healthy. It's not good. So yeah, conflict is normal. Conflict resolution is normal, and you can just discuss it without calling each other names, without, being hateful and nasty about it. Like, I think I have a lot of anxiety surrounding conflict. I don't like it because my parents were yellers and they would yell at each other. So I've got a lot of childhood memories of like my sister and I huddled in our room, like listening to our parents.
Hey, Geo Sam.
Scream at each other.
Yep.
And I very vividly remember one night in particular, and this is nothing against my parents, man. They've held it together for over 50 years. They did a good job.
That's impressive.
It really is, and they still love each other. That's the impressive
even more
part.
Impressive.
That's the impressive, yeah, because it's not just time. It's the fact that they still love each other. And I don't think that they fought when they were younger. When I was a little girl, I don't think they fought in the most healthy way, but they fought. And maybe they needed to. Maybe that's why they're still together, 57 years later, or however long it's been. So, so anyway, my point there is that there was this one night that was really scary when I heard my mother yell, well, maybe I should just take Julie and leave, because I was the youngest and the other three were all in high school. And I grabbed my sister and I said, don't let her take me away from you. And my poor older sister was like, I have no control over this. I can't remember what she said. She just held me and, and we both cried a little bit together. And then it was fine. The next morning, everything was fine. Whatever it was, they'd worked it out. It was probably about money, but they'd worked it out and it was all good. But it was a terrifying moment. And I don't know what, I've never asked them about it, and I won't, because frankly, they probably wouldn't remember.
I was about to say, they probably don't remember that one particular instance.
Yeah. That's just the one that always stuck in my head because it directly involved me being separated from the rest of my family. And I was like, look, I don't want my mom to go away, but I definitely don't want to be taken away from everyone else. Yeah. So speaking of close-knit families, this will be the first time in my life that I have not been with my parents for Christmas.
Me too. Yeah.
So that's another thing about the surviving COVID-19 together that's going to be weird. Usually Christmas Eve is our night, and that's when we exchange presents and we hang out together. This year, given our employment situation, I have an interview tomorrow morning, but given our unemployment situation, we had to tell all the nieces and nephews and everybody that we aren't giving presents this year. And then I was desperately trying to think of how to tell my mom that we weren't coming for Christmas. Yeah, right? Because Christmas is my mother's holiday. Like, Christmas is to mom as Halloween is to us. Like, it is her favorite thing.
Let me put this in a less metaphorical way so that you don't have to know us in Halloween. You ain't never seen nobody as into Christmas as this woman is into Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Oh, never. And
there's people who run those 24/7 365 Christmas emporiums who don't love Christmas as much as this blessed woman loves fucking Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
It's impressive.
It is. The amount of enthusiasm that she comes up, and I gotta say, I made a vegan version of her mashed potatoes the other night because
You did.
She only makes them twice a year, and she makes the non
because any sane person can only afford that much butter twice a year.
Right? Okay, so she makes this giant batch of potatoes, and she peels the potatoes. They're not dirty mashed potatoes. She peels, and when I say that, that's a good thing because all the vitamins are in the skin. I usually leave the skin in my mashed potatoes. My mother does not. She does it old school. She peels all the potatoes like a big, like 5-pound bag. That takes hours with her sitting in the kitchen just peeling potatoes. Then she boils the potatoes. Then she has to let them cool so that she can handle them again. Then she puts in 2 full sticks of butter, 2 full sticks of salted butter, and milk as needed. And she just has the milk next to her and adds it as she's going and she uses the mechanical, which I did too. Why can't I think of the name of this appliance?
Blender?
No, they're the things. It's a different word.
Egg beater?
Egg beater. Thank you. Yes, she uses a mechanical egg beater.
Oh.
And she whips. No, that's perfect. That's the word. And she whips them to this creamy perfection. I mean, there is not a lump to be found in this giant batch of mashed potatoes. And it's my favorite thing on this earth. And the only problem is that now I'm lactose intolerant. So if I eat her mashed potatoes, I know I'm going to be a bit sick later. But I just power through. Like Thursday, Thanksgiving and Christmas, I power through. But yeah, so I was missing her potatoes so much. I made some with almond milk and vegan butter, and they actually were good. Did you like them? Okay, cool.
They were, yeah.
Yeah, and I couldn't put salt in them. I was like, hey, you have to salt your own because I can't. Apparently, I've hit the low sodium diet age. God fucking damn it. Getting older sucks. If I eat anything with salt in it now, my ankles swell up. And it's like, oh, come on. Okay, but I have ankles again, which is nice. You can see the difference between my ankle and my foot and my calves, which is a good thing.
He suggests replacing the milk with mayo.
I could do that. Theoretically, I could do that. I also thought about Mama Atheist talking about putting in just 2 bars of unsweetened white chocolate confection, like 2 little bars into it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking about like a stick of butter because that was the last thing you were talking about. And I was thinking about a bar of white chocolate. And I was like, that's going to be inedibly sweet, even for me.
Yeah, no, that would be too much. No, it's literally like you get like a bar of Baker's white chocolate confection because white chocolate isn't really chocolate. And then you just break off 2 little bars. And
that makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
But for a moment, I had this vision of like this much white chocolate. Nobody clipped those weird pictures of me doing this out and do anything weird with them. Okay, you're bad people. I love you, but you're bad people.
We love you guys. No, none of them would ever think that.
I don't know. We got Nerdy Rodent in the chat now.
Oh, you're screwed. I'm sorry. Hi, Nerdy. A bar of Baker's white chocolate confection. Yes, that's what we're talking about. There's a big old quote from For No Reason in there that I can't quite read because I have bad eyes and I need new glasses.
So, I have to watch my dairy as well. I can handle cheese, but can't do heavy cream or anything fast.
Man,
I love it.
I can only do cheese if it's like super hard cheese with like very low lactose.
Can't do heavy cream or anything like that.
Yeah, no.
Normally replace any of the heavy cream with condensed coconut milk. That would work.
That would work. Yeah. I actually found some like Ready Whip style whipped cream that was dairy free and made from almond milk, and it tasted weird. It tasted a little sour. Like I was like, has this gone off? I mean, I can't. I mean, the date says it's fine, but my stomach accepted it just fine, and I think I finished off that can in 2 days.
Jesus Christ!
It was bad. It was naughty, but in my defense, I haven't had whipped cream in years. So
That's fair. That's fair. Oh dear! Now we got the cheese spiders going in the chat.
Cheese spiders
crawling all over the place in the chat.
Okay, so yeah, so Dave, so we had a socially distanced Halloween party with our friends, the Fleischers, who we always hang out with. Oh, I'm not supposed to say the last name.
Okay.
Shit. Anyway, I'm done. It's a very common name.
It's all right.
Anyway, so we were hanging out with our friends, and we were all separated by 6 feet around their patio, and they had a little fire pit going, and they had hors d'oeuvres, like they'd worn masks and gloves and everything when they made stuff, and they had hors d'oeuvres and food, and then we all just like brought our own wine or whatever we were drinking, and then each couple was together, and that was it. We were all, and we could still talk and everything, and that was great. But because of that, I didn't get a chance to try and make the cheese spiders that I was going to make and then photograph to scare Dave. So that's next year's project, assuming things are better next year.
Oh, they've got to be better next year, right?
They'd have to be. This is too much.
Like, come on, we're all getting the vaccine in the spring, right? Assuming it's available for us, we're all taking it.
I'm not going to say a name, but one of our nieces is getting it before we are because she's a nurse.
Well, more power to her.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's a nurse. I want her to have it as soon as possible. Yep.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, that's one. Oh, right. I remember. Okay. So sorry guys, I got sidetracked, but by mashed potatoes and other foods. But I was telling you how I was trying desperately to come up with how I was going to tell my mother, who has dementia, as you all know, that we weren't coming out for Christmas, because she'd already made some overtures about, we can have Christmas dinner at 1 o'clock and you can come. And I was like, no, I really shouldn't. And it turns out my dad fixed it. And I gotta say to the old man, like, whatever magic you wrought, all props to you, sir. Like, that's freaking awesome. I don't normally call my dad sir. I'm just trying to say his name right now. But that is so amazing. So my mom calls me the other day and says, hey, your dad and I have talked about it, and we really don't think anyone should come for Christmas, even though it's going to break my heart and it's awful. And I was like, yes! But, I had to keep that all inside, because I was like, yeah, that is terrible. And I did feel terrible, because, again, I've never not celebrated Christmas with my parents. So and that's unusual for someone my age, I think. Most people move away at some point, or, at least, my brothers, were both in the service at some point. Like, everybody missed Christmas at least once, but except for me. So it's weird. It's very weird. But yeah, but it's cool. So that's how I got out of having to explain to my mom why it would be dangerous for her health and dad's health if we went out there for Christmas. So I'm really happy. I'm so relieved. Yeah. Okay, so what are people saying in the chat? Yeah, human wrought miracle. Absolutely, yeah. Fran. Yes. Human wrought miracle. My dad did that.
And everybody says, how terrible. Yay!
I know, right? I know. I mean,
same.
It's not that I don't want to see them. It's just every year it's not just them. It's my whole family.
All of them. And
it's a lot. We are a lot. Like, imagine 20 of me. Loud, clumsy, vaguely obnoxious people. Like, it's a lot. And I've described this on other videos, but there's a lot of rituals involved. There's a lot. It's just a lot. So
it makes for a very busy holiday.
It's very busy, very
There's a lot of things that must be done in exactly the right sequence.
Oh, yes. Oh, I was talking about one of Mom's Christmas rules. One of them is Jesus. The baby Jesus does not appear in the manger scene in the
until Christmas Eve.
Until Christmas Eve.
Yep.
Nope.
My mom had the same thing.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. It was almost like Elf on the Shelf before there was Elf on the Shelf, because Mom had this. We had this beautiful nativity scene that my dad's mom had sculpted by hand, because she was amazing at ceramics, and fired, and it was just, oh, it was amazing. It was all to scale, like shepherds and camels and sheep and Jesus and Mary and the angel and everything, and they were all to scale to each other, and it was incredible and beautiful. And my sister inherited it, and she should. She's the, she's the Christian daughter. She should get it. I didn't need it. It's fine. I've got a bunny that grandma made me, and I'm fine with that. But so the baby Jesus in the manger part of the nativity would just kind of hop around the living room every day, and it's like one day like be above the fireplace, and another day like be over on a side table, but not anywhere near, and just very slowly get a little closer every day. Yeah. Every day.
Sorry, Mark, I can't type. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
And hello, Richard. Good to see you.
Hello, Richard. Hello. Yeah. So it was just, yeah. Oh, sleep is for losers, says Mark Caesar. I don't know that I'm going to sleep tonight or not. I've got a very important job interview in the morning, and I'm so nervous.
I'm going to be on not six pack, but the other thing that Atheist Pastor runs at extremely early o'clock in the morning.
Well, as long as you're finished before my interview.
He was like, "Would you like to be on the 4:30 a.m. your time show?" And I was like,
"What?
Fuck you, no."
But you clearly said yes at some point.
Well, I said yes to the 6:30 a.m. show.
Oh.
But no, not Jesus nor Chainfall is getting me out of bed at 4:30 o'clock in the goddamn morning without getting paid.
It's 2:30.
Anybody running a job that needs...
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair, nerdy. Yeah, it is super late where you guys are.
Late or early, depending on how long you've been awake.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely stayed up until 4:30 many times.
Oh, many have I as well.
Yeah. But the getting up at 4, I did that.
Yeah, there's a difference between having lost track of time and still being awake at 4:30 and dragging my lazy ass out of bed at 4:30.
Yeah, huge difference. Oh, geez. B, it's 3:30 a.m. where you are?
I think she's saying it would be 3:30.
Oh, it would be
where she is. When it would be 4:30.
When it would be 4:30. Okay, fair. That makes more sense.
Tell me you didn't say yes to
I'm
that.
Like, I know
you're a crazy person if you did.
I know our country is big, but you're not that far away.
Super big.
Well, Europe has history. We have geography. Unless you're...
Richard says, prepare for the best and expect the worst. Then get a good night's sleep.
I should.
That's pretty good life advice, actually.
Yeah, that's very good advice, actually.
Damn, Richard making me agree with him all over the place. Earlier today, this evening, here now,
oh,
with
that
the life
was
advice.
Nuts.
Shit.
Oh my God, you guys. I was screaming at my phone. I was screaming Leviticus 25 at my phone over and over again. I was so mad. I was like, because if you guys don't know, I think everyone in here right now was there, but if you missed the...
knew better than to stay there and bowed out.
If you missed...
Poor Math Pig. I'm not entirely sure he knew what he was getting into.
Yeah, well, he handled himself very well.
He did. I congratulated him on that afterward.
What is it? G-Man and
G-Man and Veckel, with whom I was unfamiliar before this.
I was not familiar with Veckel, no.
Interesting exploration that we just got out of.
I gotta give them credit for being honest interlocutors, because
honest and consistent.
These are the Yeah, very consistent. These are the only two Christian people that I've heard literally say slavery is fine. It's fine. And they happen to be African American, so that's got to be even harder.
But they are consistent within their arguments.
Yeah.
Is the
But what was frustrating?
I hate agreeing with G-Man, but he builds a consistent argument and maintains a consistent position. I happen to think that he's wrong about absolutely fucking everything on the planet, but he does maintain consistency, and I gotta at one level give him props for that.
No, we do. That's fair, and I think it's fair that they said no. The Bible is fine with slavery, but they were looking at it as this is something. And Richard and I are going to hate this. They were looking at it as something that happened in the very distant past, and was something that happened only in wartime, and that's why I kept shouting out Leviticus 25, because that's just not true. It's not true. That biblically in those stories that the Israelites could only take slaves as spoils of war. That is not at all true. It wasn't just when they fought with the Amalekites. It was the verse in Leviticus 25 is you may take slaves from the nations around you. And then there's something about, but don't enslave other Israelites, even though they do have special rules for enslaving other Israelites. Those are the people who can be released after 7 years. Unless their master has given a male slave a wife from one of those other nations and they've had children, and then at the end of 7 years the master says, well, do you want to stay here with your wife and kids, or do you want your freedom? And at that point the guy has to decide whether to abandon his family or have his ear nailed to his master's doorpost to show that he's a slave forever, and then he'll just be a slave forever. And they really got semantically hung up on the term slave and bondage, and that made me really angry because those words are synonymous. We're not talking about sex here. We're just talking about, the institutions. The institution of whether you call it a bondman or a bondmaid, you're still talking about slavery. And indentured servitude was not something people just joyfully entered into. It was what they did when they were so in debt, there was no other way. Or when they, there's a great example in Diana Gabaldon's books that are historical fiction, but there is a young lady who becomes an indentured servant because there's this horrible old man sniffing around her, and her father is so worried that this guy is going to basically rape her, and then she'll be forced to marry him because that was conventional even 200 years ago. Also a good way to get a wife in the Bible, by the way. So there's that. So if you've ever been married and carried over the threshold, I learned this recently. I'm glad I never did this one. That is symbolic of bride stealing. That's symbolic of basically raping a woman and then she has to marry you. Yay. Our culture has sucked for a long time. And we're finally coming out of some of it a little bit. It's really difficult. Okay.
Oops, I just deleted myself.
That's I saw that. That was weird. I was like, oh, I guess you changed your mind.
No, I hit the wrong button.
Oh, it's okay.
Yep. Yeah. Richard, I was watching your comments in the chat in the earlier stream, and I don't know biblical languages, so I'm completely out of my depth on that one.
Yeah, me neither.
But it was as always, a very interesting perspective, and I love hearing a different. God, I love hearing a different perspective than the ones I'm accustomed to being beaten over the head with from both sides of the aisle, as it were.
And I was incredibly frustrated when they.
Hey, Harmonica Man.
Harmonica Man. When the guys the two gentlemen kept saying that, well, you couldn't treat your slaves badly, and I was like, that was my I have old white family members who have used that argument as a an apologetic for slavery in the South. And they kept saying, no, we're not talking about transatlantic chattel slavery. And it's like, okay, so basically if your master doesn't pull out your eye or beat you so badly that after 2 days you're not dead, it's fine, it's all good, God's cool with it, therefore it's good, because whatever God says is good is good. It's like, no, that's not morality, that's evil bullshit. But also, you know what they didn't have in the ancient civilizations of the Middle East?
So many things.
Yeah.
To what are you particularly referring in this moment?
Boats that could traverse the Atlantic Ocean safely.
There's that.
Like, we all know. I mean, we know this from history. People wrote it down. The states that seceded from the U.S. Union before the Civil War cited these same biblical passages as a reason that slavery was fine and godly and there was nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. And there's just no getting around that.
No, there's no getting around that.
And as Richard points out here, there is no reasonable apologetic for any kind of slavery.
Thank you.
Full stop.
Thank you, Richard.
And I love that emphasis there, because we've all heard apologetics
states' rights
for slavery, whether that's constitutional apologetics or religious apologetics or any one of a number of things. But reasonable? No.
Nope. And I guarantee you,
just hold it up to the light and shake it around for a minute, and you'll see the bullshit settle.
Absolutely. And this isn't anti-Semitic either, because you ask any modern-day Jewish person, and they're going to be like, no, slavery is wrong. Yeah. It's wrong on its face.
Nerdy says, what didn't they have in those days? Let's see. Decent medicine, hygiene, science, ellipsis.
Yeah, fair.
Yep,
fair on all those counts, Nerdy.
You are not wrong, my friend.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Some guy in there was like, what was it? I want an atheist to tell me why something is morally wrong. And why slavery or whatever is anything is morally wrong.
Really.
And I said, because some things are morally wrong and some things are morally right. Are you serious with this question? And he came back and he added me again, and he's like, at Julie, what? So everything is, there's, basically he was trying to get me to admit that morality was subjective, and I wouldn't do it, because I was like, no, some things, there are shades of gray, and there are moments when something I would never do, like, for example, I would really like to die without ever having taken another human life. That's a goal of mine. It's just, kind of on my vision board or whatever. Like, it's just something that I'd really like to do that. But I can't guarantee that that's going to happen, because I don't know what's going to happen. If I come home one day and someone is beating you senseless and I have access to a weapon, I'm going to hit them over the goddamn head with it, because I care more about you than the person that's beating you senseless. And that's human nature. So, but I wasn't going to get into that bullshit. I was like, no, some things are wrong and have always been wrong. And if you don't see that, I really do not want, and if you really believe that everything is immoral or moral and there's no, judgment of it by us, then I don't want you anywhere near me.
Yeah. And
that stopped him right there. He did not at me again in the entire conversation. He picked on other atheists in the chat after that.
That was a very strange conversation.
So weird. I was like, of course, but again, it was so easy to see where he was going. Like, he wanted me to say that morality was subjective, and I was like, well, yeah, in some cases, but I wasn't going to go there in that character limit. That's a more nuanced conversation.
Much.
Yeah.
Fran, talking about things they didn't have back then. Fran says they did not have chocolate and coffee.
So sad. Well, didn't I?
And then Richard asks, how did they exist for more than a week without chocolate and coffee?
Well, no, chocolate is native to South America, and so is coffee. So
I don't bloody know.
South Americans were okay, but you're right. Yeah, y'all are right. Like, damn, that sucks.
It was joke.
Oh wait, no. Ethiopia had coffee. I worked at Starbucks for 5 years. You learn weird shit. Yeah. I could tell you a weird story about really expensive coffee beans and goats, but I'm not going to because it's kind of gross. All right.
Well, there's one about tobacco and tigers.
I don't know that one.
You ever seen those really expensive imported cigarettes with the picture of the tiger on the label? I'm drawing a blank on the name of the brand.
I don't think so, but I can roll with it.
Well, they're billed as authentic and expensive here.
Okay.
Because they are authentic and they're marketed expensively here. The thing is, they're marketed as expensive here because white people are stupid and don't do their research. It's the cheapest conceivable cigarette over where those are imported from, because the legend is that they pick the tobacco plants that the tiger has pissed on.
Oh.
And then they sell them to clueless white people.
So everybody over here is like, oh, this is something cool and exotic. And everybody back there is like, don't smoke that.
Yeah, don't put that in your mouth.
The goat thing is similar. The goat thing is similar, just a different situation.
Oh, yeah. Fran says, I know there's a type of coffee that's considered wonderful, but it does pass through the digestive system of a particular...
That would be it. Yep.
What is it? Is it goats or monkeys or something?
It's goats, yeah.
Goats. Okay.
And then people go and basically go through the scat and collect the beans because they can't digest the beans, but they digest the cherry fruit around the beans. And then, gross. And it's supposed to be amazing. Guess the one coffee I never tried when I worked at Starbucks, even though we were required to try. I honestly don't know.
White
if I had
people
a chance,
will buy anything.
Yeah, absolutely. So true. Especially if you tell them it's exotic and weird. Jesus Christ.
Cat, Richard says cat, goat, depends on which coffee you mean. And Lone says it's called Tiger brand tobacco.
Thank you, Lone.
Subtle.
Yeah.
Some marketer was real subtle with that.
Oh my God.
This has got to be the strangest stream we've ever done. We have been everywhere. I kind of dig it.
I do too. I dig it a lot. I'm
Free association with Julie and Junk
The only
Shop.
sad thing is I'm running low on wine, but that's fine. I'm good for now. So we saw a really crazy debate today. Oh, what? Oh, that's at me.
Lone says, does anyone remember when Whole Foods tried to sell essence of asparagus water?
Oh, gross. No.
Oh, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard of in my life, and I watched a G-Man debate 2 hours ago.
Fair. I guess, I mean, I've had, or I've seen, I guess, like when they slice up slices of cucumber and put it in filtered water, and are like, hey, do you want some cucumber water? And they do the same thing with raspberries and blackberries.
That is some triple filtered white people bullshit.
Yeah, it's spa shit is what it is. It's
Fran says I'd rather try that coffee, and Fran is right.
Yeah. It's supposed to be really good. I don't know. I've never done. But yeah.
Lone says it was a stalk of asparagus in water, and they charged $6.95.
Oh my God, no.
I believe that sounds like Whole Foods.
You can get a whole bunch of asparagus that you can roast for $6.95.
You can get several bunches of asparagus for $6.95. You make your own essence of asparagus water at home. But...
Jesus Christ. Yeah, again, white people will buy anything. Let's see. Captain 2. Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Captain 2 observant. Yeah, I must have turned around at some point. Yep. I know.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'll get it. they tried. They do it by feel in the shower. And
Yeah, I
that's really hard.
literally, I do it by feel in the
Yeah.
shower, and
I'll get it.
you asshole.
Especially as someone blessed with such a magnificent beard, really. You don't have to point that out.
Trust me, if I could,
We
if
love
I could,
you.
if I could grow beard like yours, I'd still have beard like yours.
Mm.
Asshole.
Oh, he's all right.
I know.
Oh.
That's why I grinned after I said it, rather than waggled my finger.
Yeah, sorry. I feel I always. Oh, there we go. I always feel the need to be like, it's all good.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a people pleaser and stuff.
Oh, here we go. Ox got the lowdown on the coffee beans. Ox says it has been produced from the coffee beans, which have been digested by a certain Indonesian cat-like animal.
Oh, no shit.
Called the palm civet or civet cat.
Oh, I could have sworn it was goats. Okay.
And it's $100 to $600 a pound.
I'm good. Thanks.
There is no such thing as coffee worth $600 a pound. And that's me talking, y'all. That's me talking.
You know,
y'all know me in coffee. No. I am not worth $600 a pound, let alone ground coffee beans. Sweet Jesus McGillicuddy.
We had a gift card that we forgot was not full. And we had a coffee.
Time for tea, says Ox.
Fair. And we bought a pound of Sumatra, right, at the beans at Starbucks, going through the drive-through, running errands, and that's awesome. And we're like making it last as long as we can, but this is not. That was $15. This is not like from a Sumatran cat. That's been through its digestive system.
No.
And
here we go. Here we go.
Proof.
Mr. Shadow Kitty says, white people are suckers for crap that's supposed to be spiritually elevating.
Oh my God, we are so much. Yeah. Yeah. It's why so many of us get caught up in weird. I mean, I know this happened to me. I shouldn't speak for anyone else, but like when I read the Bible and that turned me off of Christianity. So I thought about being Jewish for like a minute. And then I was like, well, then I'm still left with the same. I didn't know at the time that there are other Jewish scriptures than the Old Testament. So at the time I thought, well, then I'm just left with the same problem. I'm left with this awful God that I don't want anything to do with. So I went down the very 90s neo-pagan wooey route of things. And it's, you know, I've believed in some weird shit in my time. And, yeah, up until like about 2 years ago. I came to the conclusion that it was all bullshit more like 9 years ago. But at the same time, I was going through a divorce and my whole life was imploding and I had to move back in with my parents. And it's just, things were rough. And I was like, you know what? I can't deal with this right now. I cannot deal with an existential crisis on top of everything else. So I literally just in my mind just kind of, I figuratively in my mind put a pen in it and was like, I'll deal with the religious shit later.
Hey, Brainbug.
Hey, Brainbug. How you doing, man?
Holy shit. Ox, I had no idea.
What? What's going on?
Ox says on the bad side of that, the demand for the coffee has forced the animals in question to be abused and held in factory types. They factory farm civet cats for their coffee poo.
So they'll eat the thing.
That's atrocious. I had no fucking idea. I swear to God, the more I learn, the closer to vegan I swing.
Right?
I can't fucking stand it.
I know. It's horrible. We've cut way down on the red meat, in part because it's so expensive. Obviously.
Civets, yeah, exactly. Brainbug. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for letting us know.
See, they already knew.
Mm-hmm.
Brainbug already knew.
Yeah, Brainbug already knew. Yeah. So we're
awesome.
Yay!
I'm gonna feel better about my shitty gas station coffee from now on. I'll tell you that.
All right.
That's real world, says Ox. I'm sorry.
No, it is. That's fair, Ox. Thank you for telling us. Also, does anyone know anything bad about Folgers? Is there, because we usually buy Folgers black silk because we like the dark roast. Is there anything we need to know that's unethical about Folgers?
Harmonica Man says the animals are like, what are you doing with my poop again?
The cats are like, I just need a litter box.
Yeah.
What's your problem?
You're harvesting my what? To do what?
Predators can find me now. Do you understand that? Oh.
2 legs, stupid.
Yeah.
4 legs, good. 2 legs, dumb.
Mm-hmm. I have felt that way on more than one occasion. Oh, don't do gas station coffee. They can do good coffee. Wait, don't
diss.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Diss.
Get fair. No, they can. They can, yeah. Absolutely. And it depends
I
on
lived on that shit while I was working graveyard shift, y'all. I got no issues with gas station coffee.
They're open 24 hours.
Yep.
I've had issues with particular gas station coffee, but for the most part, no. No, it's always good.
It's caffeinated. That's all I need.
Yeah, there was this one
I don't need it to be
place,
gourmet. I need it to have caffeine.
There was this one place in Mississippi where my best friend and I were out. We were out blackberry picking, and then we went and we stopped at a gas station to get coffee. And it's the one time in my life where I actually, because she looked at it and she was like, ooh, that does not look right. And I sipped mine and I was like, nope. And I poured it out in the trash can and tossed the cup away.
Oh my.
I was like, I am not paying for that. I'm not paying money for that. It was like water. It was so gross. It was like vaguely coffee flavored water. So, yeah.
Richard points out the darker the roast, the lower the caffeine.
I know.
Because they cook the good stuff out. I know.
They do.
It's terrible. It's like I prefer the dark roast flavor, but I need the caffeine.
It just means we just drank
terrible,
twice as much.
Terrible horns of the dilemma between which to be stuck.
It's really not that bad. We literally just drink twice as much as normal people. I was going to say as other people.
As normal people?
But yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Lone's got a good point. Mm-hmm. I don't want to ruin. Oh, dear. Lone's got knowledge. Oh no. Lone says, I don't want to ruin Folgers for you.
It's okay.
Just enjoy it because you can't change the world by not buying the coffee. What do we not know?
Are they murdering kittens to make Folgers coffee? Like, what is happening? The universe is terribly unfair, says Richard. Coffee and sex drive is evidence. Yeah, sex drive can be fucked up. We were actually talking about this earlier. Yeah, we were talking about the importance of, two people who don't have kids. We're talking about the importance
Thankfully,
of. Yes, it's great. It's great. You have disposable income and shit. What? Oh, child labor and uncertified farms? Seriously? Okay, no, we can't buy Folgers anymore.
Apparently, no more Folgers for us.
Done.
Okay,
nope,
we gotta go to the more expensive coffee because
that's fine.
There's some things I can countenance and some things I cannot.
As far as I know, now I had a 6-digit partner number. So if anyone here has ever worked for Starbucks, you know how long ago that was. But it's been a long time. But I worked there for 5 years. And as far as I know, all of their coffee now is fair trade because that's the only way they'll do it. They do not, and they go and they visit. They have representatives who go visit the farms. They vet them.
Yeah. Then they burn it within an inch of its life, but they do vet their sources.
They do, yeah. So.
All right, take care, Mark.
Bye, Mark. Have
drive
a good night,
safe,
sweetie.
my friend.
Yeah, drive safe. Have good fares. Hope you make a lot of money. All that stuff. I'm gonna get more wine. Do you want anything?
Well, we're coming up on the top of the hour.
Oh, are we really? Okay. Well, we can end it.
So
we can wrap up.
I'm thinking we should probably wrap up, honestly and truly.
Yeah, fair.
As much fun as it's been, Harmonica Man, you are a terrible person.
What?
I like you.
What did he say?
Said Folgers is processed with G-Man IQ points.
Oh my God, no. Don't Don't insult. Are we insulting the child laborers right now? Because, gee, man, so dumb. Y'all.
Is that where they went? Says Richard Madsen. Yes, they
maybe.
went to the.
They must have.
Y'all are awesome. Can I just say how much fun I have with you people?
There was so much
strange little coterie of people.
There's Cynthia McDonald and Maya Atkinson in the chat pointing out the glaring fact that the two men arguing for biblical slavery happen to be black and the two men arguing against it happen to be white. And it's like, oh my God, what is happening right now? Like, everything was so wrong. Yeah, Dave, you were there. You saw it. It was,
yeah. Couple of y'all suffered through it with us. It was painful.
It was fucking
painful, I say.
It's more painful than the stretching I'm doing on my ears right now.
No chair.
I didn't lose. Yeah. I found it, but I dropped one of the other earrings. So I was like, I'm meaning to stretch up to a bigger size anyway. So I put in the next biggest size, and it's like, ooh, wow, that's a lot bigger. So anyway, well.
Right. Well, we're coming up on the top of the hour, so I think we're going to bail here.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Shadow Kitty, and everyone who showed up.
Make sure if you don't follow either one of us, make sure you follow the other.
Yes, please.
If you don't follow Purple Rhymes with Orange, make sure you follow Purple, because Purple is setting up what's shaping up to be a 36-hour plus holiday stream starting at midnight on Christmas Eve.
It's going to be a Festivus extravaganza.
And there's going to be people who are doing a Festivus extravaganza approach to it. Mm-hmm. And then there are going to be people who are like, okay, you had enough goddamn holidays, come hang out with me.
Yep. And Lone Wanderer is going to be, it has a block, has a 2 or 3 hour block. She's taking on a lot. So yeah. And I've got a block of time where I'm going to be talking about the pagan origins of Christmas decorations. And yeah, I know a lot of you already know, but come on, it's fun. Who can resist? And you're doing a block of time right before mine.
Where we do nothing holiday related whatsoever, because some of us going to be sick of that shit by then.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So there's going to be something for everyone. And, you know, we did it last year. And last year's was a blast, and we had to miss a bunch of people's thing because we had to go to do the family stuff. And this year we don't have to do the family stuff. So we're just going to be here rocking out to each other in our YouTube atheist community, just hanging out. So let's do it. It's going to be awesome. Dave, I'm assuming you're in on this. I don't know. I'm just going to.
I don't know if he is or not, but he's certainly dropping the links.
There we go. Dropping. Thank you, Dave. Yes, dropping the links. Awesome.
Yeah,
and thank you, Ox, and yeah, peace to everybody. Respect. We love y'all. It's been a rough fucking year. And
it really has.
And I gotta say, I really feel, I know this was entitled, like, you know, Surviving COVID-19 Together, but especially for
together.
Together, exactly, all of us, because any of y'all who are living alone right now, like, just, you know, you've got community, you've got people. I know you don't know us. I know we can't hug and stuff, but you know we're here. So if you need anything, you know, our DMs are open.
Vamp for me one second.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say things. Yeah. So Richard's is like, what time with the pagan stuff? Oh gosh, you know what, Richard? I want to say it's 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, but I may be incorrect. I need to double check. I apologize. It's right after junk shops. Yeah, and everybody's going to be moving from stream to stream to stream, but I want to say that theirs is at 2 and mine's at 3. I think that's correct, but I will double check. And
Central, though.
Central.
So I don't know what help that is to anybody else.
Yeah, that's Central Standard Time, U.S. U.S. Central Standard. Now, I will, of course, those streams will go up, and you should, YouTube willing, get notifications. But if those don't work, you know, yeah, I'll definitely have it up in plenty of time, so that everybody knows. And also, Richard or anyone else, if you just want to DM me to remind me, hey, what time is your thing on Christmas Day? Like mine's on the 25th, and I will double check and let you know. I think it's 3. Yeah. So I've got some research to do, and
Mr. Shadow Kitty, I'm right there with you, my friend.
After I get
my COVID vaccination, I'm gonna hug up a storm.
Oh my god!
You and me both, brother.
Dude.
You and me, bro.
Honey, I love you, but
you're ready to hug somebody else, by God?
Yeah.
Yep. I hear you.
I want to hug my mom so badly. I have gotten to hug her once this year. I got to hug her once, and it was the week I got a COVID test, and it came back negative. Test, yeah. And we went out there and cleaned our house, and I actually felt safe enough to hug her.
Yep.
But that's the only time it's been rough. We are very hugging.
Brainbug just says, "I like hugs."
Oh, Brainbug, you're so cute.
The day will come, my friend. The day will come.
Someday, some of us.
We're all going to end up washed up around the flotsam and jetsam at the edge of Faithless Forum in a couple of years, if nothing else.
Yes, let's do it. That would be. How great would that be? How fucking awesome would that be, y'all?
God, I'm washed out.
You're very pale, my darling. I'm washed out too, but it means they can't see the lines on my forehead, so it's cool. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I earned this face. I have lived.
Coco Chanel. At 20, you have the face you were born with. Mm-hmm. At 40, you have the face you have earned.
Mm-hmm. Damn fucking straight. And I earned it. All right, on that note.
All right, we got to roll out of here, y'all. Or we'll be here all damn night.
Yeah, so remember, you can't find truth in wine, but you may find it in reason, and
stand against hate.
Always. Love y'all.